everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I have a really pretty card for you today. I'm excited to show it to you. I'm actually filming all of next week's tutorials because I will be in Las Vegas for Stampin' Up's Backstage. So I have filmed my swap, so you'll want to check for that on Monday, and then I will have 3 other tutorials. Hopefully I'll get them all filmed today. Then the next step is to getting them all ready to pre-post, because I really don't want to take my laptop with me. You know, it's kind of a pain to carry, and you carry it all the way over there and then you don't use it. So I'd like to have it all done and taken care of before I leave. So the card I'm going to show you today features Brushed with Beauty, which is our November club selection. So if you're not familiar with my online card club, then I'll show you where to go to learn all about it, because I love my card club. I love making the projects for it, and that's in fact what I'm going to do this afternoon after I get all this filmed, hoping that my husband can start cutting your paper while I'm gone. But this suite is a new suite. It is one of the new online exclusives that just came out, so you don't already have it. Throat's scratchy. Here's a couple of different cards that I have done with it. This one my friend Tanya made. Beautiful. Don't you love how she embossed on top of the vellum that she had already put through the embossing folder? So that's a kind of a cool technique. Then this one I do have a tutorial up for, and it is what inspired my swaps. So when you come back on Monday to watch the swap tutorial, it will look similar-ish, but it's a different card. In fact, it's different enough. It's the colors really that are the exact same, because I used the same paper and the same ideas, but switched up the embellishments, switched up the ribbons, a little less die cutting since it was swaps. And then if you go watch this particular tutorial on my channel, this will tell you all about how to sign up for my card club, how you subscribe to it, the benefits of being able to get all this stuff at about 20% off if you want to add anything on. So this is our first project. We make 6 cards together every month. 3 designs. We do 2 of each. It includes your envelopes. You get half a pack of paper. You get a full package of embellishments. You get a full thing of ribbon. So it's a great way to craft and not have to do a whole lot of thinking. So on this card and in this club month, we are using the Words of Beauty. I don't have them all. They're all here from just what I've pulled out to use, because I'm going to clean up as I go. So here is the Words of Beauty. This is one of our bonus add-ons. So you can add that on at catalog price, which means I pay your shipping, handling, and tax, unless you're in Indiana, because then PayPal will charge you the tax. And then our club set this month is Petals of Beauty. So this is the one that will be on every card. The other ones are all bonus ones, so they'll be on some, but not all. And then another bonus add-on this month is the Lasting Linen, and I'm going to use that today. And then a word about December Club. In December, traditionally, ever since I've been doing Card Club, which has been, I don't know, 4 years now, it's been a hot minute. And I only know that because every 2 years you get free stamp sets. And so people are always getting free stamp sets every month now because there's been so many 2 years. But traditionally in December, I send a Christmas gift. So you can see this is some of the pieces that I've started working on for the Christmas gifts for this year. To get a Christmas gift in your December packet, you do have to be in November Club. And then obviously in December, so it will come in your packet. So here's a little sneak peek. We're going to use these on our project. And my husband's not going to be happy when he sees them. Anytime he sees anything of bulk that has to go in the package, he's like, why'd you choose that? But I'm really excited to show you this project. And you'll only get to see it if you're in Card Club. I may show snippets, but you won't get to see the whole thing unless you're in Card Club. So for today's project, I am going to use Espresso as the card base. And then if I had more time, I would have put a white piece. We'll probably make this at my stamp camp in November, so they will get a white piece on the inside, and you could also stamp it to match. So Espresso, and then here is the Brushed with Beauty Designer Series paper, and it's going to go on there. I love this sheet. The whole card was designed around being able to use this sheet. And then I am going to cut. These are dies that come out of the set. So if you're in Card Club and you you don't have to buy the stamp sets, because I know a lot of times you have something that might be similar that you could substitute. Sometimes our paper stands in for us. This month it's not that kind of paper. But any dies that are like this, you would get pre-done. So on this particular card, if it was a card club card, but it's not, which I'm kind of sad because it would be a nice selection. So this is Darling Duckling, and this is from Hobby Haven. Stamps bundle, I can't talk, bundle that just came out this month. And then this is also from the Petals of Beauty. So say this was a card club card, these would already come pre-done to you. The only time we don't die cut is if it is because it cuts out a stamped image, because then you have to stamp it first. So let me run these through my cut and emboss machine. So the other two cards that we'll post later this week are both Christmas cards. One is the Nativity, and I made it yesterday. I made everything yesterday with the intent of filming it today. So I sat down to get everything in a line to film. And the Nativity has done something really kind of funky overnight. So make sure you check back to watch that, because it's kind of like a little bit of Christmas magic or something on the card. It was a little... Thankfully, it looks good, because it did change while we were sleeping. Okay, so we have those cut out. Now I'm going to grab the lasting linen. You don't need a whole lot of this. Nothing like starting with a project that's going to get my hands dirty right away. Get the Darling Duckling. We just need to ink up enough of this to get our tag. You will love this lasting linen stamp set because it gives great texture. But it's very subtle, especially if you do color on color. So put this on here. I thought about doing it on the vellum as well, but then I didn't end up doing it. And it looks kind of dark as that Darling Duckling dries. It will be even more subtle than that. And then out of the Words of Beauty stamp set, I had to look at the name. Couldn't remember what it's called. I have pulled out, so you can see that it has the big just and the big because. You can stamp them and die cut them. You can just die cut the words. For this one, because I wanted the card simple but elegant, and I didn't want another die cut on here because I wanted those two to be the focus. So I'm just using the stamped words, which there is still a because, a smaller because. So we'll do the because. And then I love you. So it could say because it's your birthday, because I appreciate you, because I can't think of all the things it says. I'm going to do because I love you, because I think that would be a fun card, and it's not a typical sentiment that we have, but it's kind of fun. Okay, and then I am going to do a little bit of my shimmer technique because it looks really pretty on this. So this is Glycerin and Wink of Stella. Go to the blog post, go just to my blog, and it's at the top of every post, because it's the question I get the most, is find out how to make my shimmer solution. And then I have the same blending brush that I've been doing it, I don't even remember, years, months, years that I've been doing it. So I'm just going to add some to the tag. Not going to go over those words because I don't want them to smear, but I kind of like it when there's just some shimmer. And I'll show you more on the finished one because it's easier to see once it's dried. And again on this, not everywhere, and especially not where I'm going to glue this stuff down, because on this particular card I don't have time for it to dry. If you are doing it at home, you would have time for it to dry. So we have it, some glycerin and Stella there. Put some on. It's upside down. It looks really good on the dark colors. And then I'm also going to add it to my leaves. There is a right side and a wrong side of the leaves, and you'll be able to tell when you see those. And it looks really pretty on the glycerin. I mean, on the vellum. The glycerin looks pretty on the vellum. But then you can see it makes your Wink of Stella go far, because I've been using this same bottle, which was a whole Wink of Stella, which is kind of fun to squeeze that in there. All right, let's stick this together. I'm going to stick it together a little bit differently than I did my original card because I cut something crooked or I tore that right there. It's bothering me. I don't know if I can fix it. We'll just hope nobody notices. Because this needs, I'm going to use fine tip glue and it does need dry time. So I'm going to do this one and show you how I did it. And then I'll show you my dried one that I did last night. I didn't look at it closely. Hopefully the Christmas magic wasn't everywhere and making this card look different as well. So got that on there. And then I want to use the large gold hoops that are part of the Modern Christmas Suite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on here where I want it to be. I'm going to take my fine tip glue, just hold it in place. I'm going to put some here at the top. And then some here, a little bit at the bottom. And I'm just doing it right inside there. And it will move a little bit until it's all the way done. And then when I was done, I put something heavy on it overnight, which I don't know that it needed it. I just felt like it did. So now I'm going to put this on here. It does help. Yesterday I didn't have this glued to the card, and so that kept moving as well. Now I'm going to do some about right here. And I'm going to let it go onto the hoop and kind of settle down into the grooves. And that will get this on here. It doesn't go across the top, so don't do it there. And then I just held it here. And right here where the tips are going to be. This dries clear. You just don't want a lot of it oozing out everywhere. So just lay that there, and then that's done. And then we are going to take our leaves. This is such a simple card. Really, the only difficult part is waiting for it to dry. Put those on here. You don't want to put too much glue because it will show through. And I'm just going to put a little bit here on the center. And that. Originally, I was going to tie some twine around the top. So my other one is stamped a little bit lower, the words. But then I decided when it was there, my twine was downstairs because it's on my swaps. As it sat there, I was like, you know what? I like it without the ribbon. Not every card needs ribbon, I know. In my world, every card needs ribbon, but sometimes I'm like, no, that doesn't need ribbon. These are, my club members can get these free this month. They're also part of the Hobby Haven, which is where the tags came from, the Earthy Matte Dots. And I am just going to use the espresso ones. Let's put one here, and I want to be careful because this is not set on this particular card. So one of the big ones and then two of the small ones. Again, I like to use 5, 7, 9 embellishments on a card. I didn't think this one needed it, partly because the hoop is also a great embellishment, as is the vellum and the little thing there, the little flower. So here's this one. See, it's still kind of wet. And then let me show you. See, it's all stuck on there, nice and stuck. But hopefully you can see the little bit of shimmer that's just around. I didn't shimmer everywhere because if you don't shimmer everywhere, then as you move the card, it kind of catches the shimmer that is on it. And you can see this is also dried lighter than that. That has darker ink, and also because I've just put the glycerin on top of it. The glycerin just, it's wet. It takes a little bit of time for it to dry. Lovely card. So if you're interested in being part of my online card club where we make cards like this together, and I try to remember to decorate the envelope, sometimes to decorate the inside, like you saw the inside of the card that I showed you at the beginning. That's our first club project this month. Has it. And if you want to be in the club so in December you get the gift, you need to subscribe or add on by November 10th. So that's what I have for you today. Check back so you can see how my nativity card changed overnight. Have a great one. Bye.